Hey everybody, welcome to Best Family Homestead. So today we are finally going to be getting started on prepping, insulating, chinking, and sealing the porch here. That way I can start on trim work and finalizing everything. So a lot of work to do. The weather out here in South Georgia is looking kind of ominous. Luckily, we have a good roof over our head, and we can still do some work on the homestead even though it's raining. So, let's get started on this project. First things we're going to be doing is there's still a lot of dust and stuff in here. You can see nails. We got to clean off all these boards and prep them. So that's what we're going to start out with, is getting all the nails off and getting the boards all cleaned up. So we got all from that side up and over. So with that being said, let's start pulling nails and getting old dust out of here. Alright, so we got a lot of the light dust off, most of the nails. Now I just got a regular wire brush. I considered sanding it or doing a little sanding, but I really don't want to lose any of the character of the old house. So you can see I can get in here and get most of the really crazy dirt and brighten up these logs just with this wire brush. So now I'm kind of going to start all over and wire brush this thing and get these logs looking pretty. Alright everybody, so I think it looks much better now. Got most of the old dirt and mud off, at least the logs. The top of the porch here, I won't worry about that here in a few days. That's going to be a pretty big project, lots of mud daubers. And seeing how it's cooling down out here, I really need some insulation and chinking up on the porch so the old house isn't quite so drafty. Not much you can do with an old farmhouse. Next part is one of the parts I absolutely hate. And hang on just a second. So I'm not gonna mention this to Robert. I'm gonna wait and see if he actually watches my videos like he said he does. I think he's about 15-20 minutes away. And we've got some just good old fashioned fiberglass insulation that we're going to be putting back in these cracks. And I think it needs to be a learning video. I think I need to teach Robert how to put in insulation and get really itchy. And I'll advise. Sorry, Robert. You're about to learn a new skill. Oh man, Miss Caroline is going to kill me. We just got this stupid porch cleaned off, and well, I better have it cleaned up before she gets back from coaching. She's a swim coach, so has a meet all day today again. If I don't have this cleaned up before she gets home, she's liable to hurt me. Wish me good luck. Alright, so I started on this the other, like a couple minutes ago, but I'll wait till you got here.
Yeah.
Honest opinion, what do you think about, because you were here yesterday, but you haven't been here since I cleaned them. Can you notice the difference? Because I think I can, but I want to make sure I wasn't just, you know.
Oh yeah, for sure.
We've got everything dusted.
It's beautiful wood. I mean, I hope it shows up on camera as good as it does.
It should, especially when we start sealing it, and we're going to use an older sealing technique.
Yeah.
When we get to that point here in a day or two.
I mean, that deep reds, it is beautiful wood.
Oh, I couldn't believe when I started using that brush on it.
Yeah.
And it started coming out.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like I said, we just cleaned the porch, so gotta clean the porch again. Luckily, Miss Caroline's not around just yet. I got a couple hours to work and get it all cleaned up, but definitely looks better. Got the nails pulled out. So, with that being said, and there's a lot of stuff I said like 10 minutes before you got here, before I heard you pull up down the road. Need to just do some video stuff.
Did you tell them about the tires? About how I don't hear it until you say something? Okay, yeah.
Yep. Every time I get in the car, I'm like, man, these tires are loud. And then, like, for the next 2 days, Robert's texting me like, I hate you. Yeah. Because I didn't hear the tires. Like, I tuned them out until you said it. Yeah. Oh, yeah, it's great.
So thanks, buddy.
It's one of my favorite pastimes. So, you know, being Jose, you know, I'll help you out, teaching you stuff that maybe you've never done before, some stuff I've had to do. I thought something, because there's a lot of this at the old bird farm that you'll need to do. Yeah. Is insulating.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm going to teach you how to use fiberglass insulation. And I'm going to stand back and watch.
Where are my gloves at?
Actually, I think you left your gloves here. I think you wrote Robert in them.
Did I? No.
Well, you can use my gloves.
Okay, that'll work.
Alright, well, I'll help you out with it.
I think I've got my gloves over here.
Alright guys, so we're out here. I messed up starting to film because the teenagers running around and preteens running around being crazy. So I was going to make Robert do it, but I'm going to go ahead and do the first run and we'll knock it out together.
He asked me to film and I said, absolutely, buddy.
So all we're going to do, and I could have got these fiberglass strips in like 6-inch strips, but seeing as I try and be, well, I'm cheap, so a couple extra minutes, and I did spend the money on the white insulation instead of the old school pink fiberglass. So all we're going to do is I want this really packed and shoved in here, so I'm going to start on these wide gaps. I'm just going to cut this in half. For fiberglass, I highly recommend disposable razor knives. It will dull the crap out of a regular razor blade or any razor blade, but you get these disposable razor blades pretty cheap. I think I got a pack of like 10 or 15 for just a couple dollars at Harbor Freight, and that's cheaper and a lot easier than changing razor blades because all you gotta do is just break off the end. So we've got our, get this separated here. Show you guys how to do the first run and we'll go to time lapse. Looks like, you know, this is about our widest board here. So let's go in and start. If you'll put that right there at the end for me. There we go. And this is all I'm planning on doing. Get this shoved in. That's all I really want. These logs, you'd be surprised. In the summer, the original part of this log house actually stays much cooler than you would think. If it gets down to 70 at night, even it has to be over about 96 or 7 for the inside of the house to get over 83 or 4 in the original part of the log cabin. These big logs are absolutely phenomenal insulation. In the winter, because the wind blows a lot on the ridge that we're on down here, and the winter is a little bit different story because you get that breeze blowing through, so it does make a lot of difference. when you're using a grinder anytime, that's one time I always wear my safety glasses, but this expanded metal is kind of like that cable we were using the other day. This stuff will absolutely just slice your hands. So you always want to wear gloves with this. Cut this one a little bit short, but not a big deal, because what we're going to do, we're going to take and going around all these knots. There we go. All right, get that in there. And because some of these boards stick out further, there will be a little bit more in here than what I was really hoping for. See how good this stuff holds. I might need to use this piece in a different section because I don't really want that much. You don't want that much chinking in here. There we go, that's better. I had it pushed back a little bit too far back here. There we go. You can see that's nice and hard. So what this is going to do is it's going to allow that when we start putting the chinking in, the chinking is going to go back through these holes, and like with cement, it's going to make it it's going to reinforce it, so that's going to be a lot less chance of that chinking chipping out. So now we're just going to time lapse, and we're going to put this up, and we gotta cut reinforced wire for every single one of these logs. Oh boy!
I just remembered I had something to go do.
Business meeting. Alright, so we got a lot of this wedged up in here. Now you can, if you want to, actually take the time and put nails in here. But this being wood, this expanded metal being hard, all I'm going to do now is go through here and just hit the edges of this metal. Kind of the same thing as putting a nail in it. So you can see now, I mean, this stuff is driving into this wood. I just want to make sure it's past the surface of the log where we're going to be putting the chinking. But all we're doing is going up around the edges in a few places, just like that, just like with staples, driving the, yep, see that one I didn't have. That's why we're doing this. Grab this here. There we go. And if you're working on working on a newer log cabin where everything's nice and straight and square, you know, this job would be a whole lot easier. But seeing how this is 194 years old, you know, I think it looks pretty dang good for what they had to do to make them, you know, straight.